way to St Albans today. I am listening to a book regarding nutrition, specifically canine nutrition. Now, this is something that we get asked loads as dog trainers, and despite all of my courses, my attempts to understand canine nutrition, it is an absolute minefield. I'm not sure that people are aware that, according to the book that I've been listening to, 90% of the UK's dog food market is owned by 3 large organisations. These organisations are Nestle, Mars and Colgate. Now, I don't know about you, but when I think about dog food, you would expect that it would be run by organisations that have a knowledge and understanding of canine nutrition. Now, I feed a Pets at Home own brand dog food, and the book that I'm listening to is very much against feeding a kibble. Now, I understand the reasons for this, but it doesn't always suit everybody's budget, lifestyle, routine, and I would love to feed my dogs a high quality dog food every single day, because that's what they deserve. But I'm also very aware that dogs have been domesticated for hundreds of years, and they are able to survive on a good quality kibble without any issues. We do add food to our dogs' bowls. Now, it doesn't mean to say we do it every day. I don't do it because the dogs don't eat the kibble. The dogs will eat the kibble regardless, and in fact, those of you that know my American Bulldog will growl for his food if it's not been fed by a set time. And again, some people would disagree with that, but that is his routine. He is very a routine dog, so we just keep it. However, understanding that Mars and Nestle feed our dogs, we kind of have to look at what they feed our humans. Mars, what do you think of when you think of Mars? A Mars bar. What do you think of when you think of Nestle? Randomly, I think of cereal. So these ingredients that are being fed to our dogs aren't very good quality. Now, dealing with behaviour on a daily basis, we do kind of look at what goes into the dog in order that may cause some behaviour issues. So some of the leading brands, which are easily found on most shelves of pet shops, supermarkets, etc., and on our TVs you will see all the time, are not good quality dog food. We need to look at the ingredients. Now, I've always said that dog food topic is like politics and religion. Every single person will have a different viewpoint and reasoning behind what dog food they feed their dog. And they will often make you feel that what you're feeding your dog is wrong. Now, I will tell my clients openly and honestly that if their dog is showing behaviour issues, or you have a very high drive, excitable working breed and are feeding them these types of treats, I will openly say, well, I call them ADHD treats. Now, those of you that know me know that my son is going through a very lengthy process for behaviour learning and cognitive issues, so I don't say it in a derogatory way. However, I try to convey in the most openly way possible that we are fueling these behaviours and these issues that we may be seeing. So what the point of the video is just to kind of look and assess if we are seeing behaviour issues, or we have a very excitable puppy. What are we actually feeding them? What are we actually putting in their bodies? Now, recently there was a discussion on my closed WhatsApp group, not a lengthy discussion, just points of view regarding the All About Dog Food website. Some of the ratings on there are slightly biased, although it does say that they're not biased. But I do think it provides an owner an insight to just how complicated dog nutrition is. So the biggest takeaway point that I want my owners and my viewers to get away from this video is that if there are ingredients within your dog food that you don't understand or have never heard of, that isn't a good thing. We want, as dog trainers, our dog owners to fully understand their dog. Now, if we are feeding them poultry byproduct, meat and animal derivatives, we need to look at what these actually are, what they mean. When I deal with behaviour, the first thing that I do is ask for a vet check. The second thing I check is the diet that the dog is on. Now, there are a lot of dogs that have behaviour issues that are on a prescription diet. When we look at the ingredients of this, we look at what ingredients release serotonin, dopamine. Now, I'm not a very scientific person I understand the science, I'm just not very good at explaining what is in my brain. And I'm even worse at pronunciations. So I'm going to go with therabonide or something down those lines. I'll pop it in the description of this video when I get home tonight. But this chemical helps support and release serotonin, dopamine. And those are the good hormones. Those are what we want our dogs, especially with behaviour issues, to release. Now, this only comes from good good quality protein, as in a good quality meat, and good quality fibre. Now, if you're feeding a dog from byproducts, which are necks, beaks, feet, undeveloped eggs, and the meat and derivatives is kind of anyone's guess at what that is, that isn't a good quality protein. So that won't be helping to release serotonin, or the dog's body naturally produce serotonin. Now, if your dog is stressed, they release cortisol. The only way to counteract cortisol is to release serotonin and dopamine. Now, if we fail to understand this, we are already setting our dog up to fail regarding behaviour modification. So all these videos that you see of these dogs being miraculously trained in a day, what you want to be asking is, has that dog visited a vet? Has it got an underlying health issue? What is being fed to the dog? What treats are being used? What mental stimulation is being done? And that is why we look at the bigger picture for dog training, and not just let's chuck a slip lead on it and give it a few jerks when there's a dog there and they'll learn not to react. You're suppressing a behaviour. It's not going to work long term. And if it did, you wouldn't need to slip and yank the dog. We want to allow the dog choices for them to understand the behaviour. This is why I love my job. It's about educating. It's about supporting. I say I'm non-judgmental, and I am for the most part. But if you choose to feed your dog a low quality diet, use these branded dog treats, and expect a change in your dog because of the training, in most cases it won't happen. We just need to be more focused. And I'm not saying that we need to spend hundreds of pounds a month on our dog food, because I don't. But what we look at is the type of dog food that we are feeding and how we're feeding. It's not a one size fits all. On paper, my Staffy is being fed over the recommended daily allowance. But my dog has prostate cancer and he is losing weight rapidly. So I am feeding him a high quality lunch every day. When you go to the shop and you buy a pair of jeans, no matter what your size, you will be a different size in most shops. When we're feeding our dogs do not conform, even if they're the highest Kennel Club registered show dog. 9 out of 10 dogs will be slightly different weight, a slightly different size, a slightly different shape. We look at the body conditioning scale to identify your dog and their ideal weight. So we want to make sure that we've got a nice rib cage, that you can feel the ribs but can't visibly see them. You've got a nice little indent for their body or their stomach area. We're not getting large amounts of fat, or we're not getting large amounts of bone. We need to make that identification based on our dog and not on my dog is a Staffy and should weigh X. Because on paper, my Staffy is too big, but he's slightly longer and taller than the Kennel Club Staffy. Oh, hello, Mr. Spider. Love it when that happens. Okay. So it's not about, on paper, what your dog should be. Your Labrador should be X, Y, Z. It's what they look like. It's what they feel like. Are we feeding them a good quality diet? Now, if you're still with me 16 minutes later, well done and thank you. We just want to take away, what are we feeding our dog? Have a look on the back of the packets. Legally, when a dog food says with chicken, I think, I'm sure it says with, it only needs to be 4% of that product. 4% of chicken. However, if that's chicken byproduct, that isn't a lot of good quality meat going in. Is it? Really? For the price tag that you're paying for these prescription diets? I don't know. I'm just having one of those mornings where I'm pondering about nutrition and dogs. I mean,